Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going in part 3 of today's episode of Roll20 Presents The Burning Wheel. Let's burn some wheels. So,
Wheel burning.
Joy, we need to know what happened to you. So while the great miracle of the polyphony of spring's excitement was going on, what...
Yeah, I wasn't very excited by that.
No,
That
you
was
were not hype.
That was like, here's some legitimate angel magic that could probably be used in its way to destroy you. And so I think Joy sort of freaked out and like ran away.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Maybe there was some kind of like sense about it, or like a thing that she realized what it was, or like that kind of thing. And yeah, she pushed through the crowd and got the hell out of there as quickly as possible. But I think she just spends a little bit of time sort of like holed up, but she's also been surrounded by a huge crowd of people for the last like little while, which is, you know, like, we haven't narrated it, but I assume she's managed to eat off screen.
I don't know that you've ever eaten. I don't know about the person. It's up to you. Like, you've been. I think. I mean, if we want to follow the kind of like the Vampire the Masquerade hierarchy of disgusting acts, like you've been eating like animals, like catching rats and eating them alive.
Yeah, it's true. It's worth narration if we,
because I don't know if you've gotten as far as killing a person yet.
Oh, you think like entirely, like over
yeah?
the 3
I mean, I don't
months?
know. Like you've been to, if you think so, if you think that's something you've done already, then cool. But
I just assumed during the 3 months that we'd led up to this that she probably had.
I mean, again, it's up to you if you want to just be.
I trained my brawling a lot during that time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think my next step, like after a little bit of recovery, is to go see our to go and try and see my friend, or not really friend, person whose name I don't even know.
No, you don't.
Who lives in that one house that invited me in one time. I want to go see her again and have like more of a conversation. And I have money now, so I have something to offer.
Feels good, man.
In exchange for maybe some information or services rendered.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's my thought.
So
I go to the Stygian part of town,
the Stygian ghetto, and see what you can drum up. Okay, so it'll be a circles test.
Yeah, I figured as much. Circles. What's my ob here, Adam?
Let me take.
It's not a person I've tried to circles before, I guess. Unless I did, but I don't think I did.
No, I don't think so. I think she was the byproduct of you just being like out in the neighborhood.
Yeah, being like around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a failed stealth for inconspicuous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say she's uncommon. Same station ranker class as you. Up 3.
Up 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Modifiers. I don't need to modify anything. Artha, no. Face up 3. I fail. But I have 2 failures, right? So I can spend 2 fate to reroll.
That's right.
A single die. Well, I have a mountain of fate, so let's get this party started.
Right,
I'll roll another d6. Yeah!
Nice.
The
Cool.
new rule. It worked for you.
I did it.
You did it. All right.
There we go. Circles test. Success.
Cool. Okay, so you did it. So yeah, you go to her house, and you remember where it is, and it looks like there's a light inside.
So I think I like knock on the door and like stand outside in my ragged cloak.
Okay.
And like wait and see if anybody answers.
All right. Yeah. So there's a moment, and then the door opens slightly, and you see her peering outside, and she peers out, and she says, she just looks at you, and she says, "I'm sorry, we don't have anything. I cannot help you," and goes to close the door.
And like I try and stop her, like I was hoping I could talk to you for a few moments.
She squints at you.
Just based on some things you said the last time I met you.
Oh, yes, you were the one we saw outside. I don't know. My husband is not home, and yeah, and you can see her kind of like, I don't know or trust you, and I'm all by myself in here. You want to try persuade her?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and persuade her. Like I just want to talk.
All right, sure.
I've been in your house before, like I'll happily surrender my weapon again, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Ob2 persuasion.
Okay.
Her will is
Should be able to do Ob2.
Her will's not great.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so she says something in Stygian and like looks up or like rolls her eyes. You can't tell. And then she says, "Fine, but only for a bit. I do not want him coming home and finding you here."
He doesn't like me then? I say
He's distrustful of strangers. He wants to protect his home and his family. Do not judge him. You do not know. She opens the door and says, "Come inside."
All right, let me come in.
Okay.
Into the modest
one room hovel.
Yeah, hovel.
Yeah.
And I start sort of like talking with her immediately. It's sort of like down to it right away. Rather than sort of standing around awkwardly.
Right. Like, hey, nice hovel you got.
Nice
here.
Place you got here. I think
cool
I said
hovel.
that last time when she took as an insult, so I didn't mean it.
She thought you were being sarcastic.
But I say to her, so last time I was here, you said something. I don't remember the specifics, but you said that back home, like where you're from, you worked at a temple?
For a time, as a girl, yes.
What sort of things did you do there?
Needs her think, and she says, "I don't like to remember it, and it was a very long time ago. But the same thing that all girls do in the temples: tend to the lotus garden, carry water for the priests, participate in rituals. Perhaps if I were older, had been there longer, it would have been given more sacred tasks. But as it was, I was never... I do not know the word in their language. They never made me a priestess myself."
But you participated in rituals, you said. What sort of preparation or what sort of things? I know very little about the religion back home.
Mostly preparing, the washing of the bodies, sweeping of the mausoleum. Nothing important.
But you saw these things, yes? The important things.
No, she's lying.
Yeah,
nothing.
Like clearly.
No,
yeah.
Nothing of significance. It was forbidden.
I think this is the point where I produce like a coin or a test or whatever it is, the one coin of resources, the one whatever section of resources. I produce like a little bit of money.
Okay.
Because I have two, right? Like 2 cash die.
Yeah.
So I produce one, and I and like hold it out to her, and I say like, "I'm very interested, personally."
She looks at you suspiciously. Make a resource test.
Okay.
Ob1 resource test to bribe this lady.
Oh my god! I'm gonna use it. Can I use a persona on a resource test?
If you have a die and you can make the test, then yes, you can use a persona on it.
Yeah, because I have two resources.
Yes.
So
because otherwise you don't.
Do I roll just what I'm presenting, or do I?
Yes,
roll my
yeah, it depends because you're gonna lose the die whether if you.
That's
if
what
you
I figured.
succeed,
So
right?
I'm gonna add an Artha to this, and add a persona, and I'm gonna roll one of the.
So it'll allow you to roll 2 dice, one from the cash, one from the
and keep my other cash die.
Yep. No, that's a good call.
Here we go. Self-sufficiency.
It's possible.
You got a pretty good chance getting 1 success. You die. Sorry.
No, it's because I have 0 resources.
I know, it's because there's 0 resources.
So I'll just roll 2d6 here.
Yeah.
Boom.
One success.
You're incapacitated.
One
Okay.
resources.
So you lose the cash die.
Okay.
And yeah. Okay. So she takes the coin. And like she takes the money from you, and she says, "Why? Why do you want to know these things?"
I look around to see if any of the children are nearby. No.
She's like, wait, why are you looking around my house? What, like, she gets nervous.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to say these things if I don't have to. And I say, I have a body to prepare, and I want to do it properly.
You are too far from home for it to matter. We do not prepare the dead that way here. A Stygian who dies this far from the desert.
You don't think that they're worth a little ritual? If we can provide it.
If you had lived in this place as long as I have, you would know. If the gods of our home could hear us screaming, either they would come to save us or give us the tools to make it so that we would not have to scream anymore. Instead, I think they are either deaf or have turned their back on us. And either way, they do not deserve rituals anymore.
And Joy sort of like lets her finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then says, it's not about the gods. It's not important. Gods, it's not it. I need the body to last. The way I've heard these bodies do.
I'm going to just roll the die of fate here for a second. Just let me. So she takes a step back, and she's scared now. Scared and disgusted. She bumps the table, and like we hear the like rattling of their meager dishware. And she says something in Stygian, and then again in Carpathian. She's like, "Necromancer, no, I will not help you."
And I try and reassure her as much as I can with like, no, you misunderstand me. I'm not a necromancer.
She says, no, there is only one thing that you could want, and I will not help you with that. I cannot.
It's not like that.
And she's like, she looks at the door and she's thinking about like running past you and like getting out of here. Like she's scared.
I'm between her and the door.
And I think that, yeah. And we get the, like, suddenly you're very like viscerally aware of like the smell of her flesh and like the throbbing of her heart in her chest.
Yeah. And I think this is the point where I just go, it's not like that. It's not like that. I'm not a necromancer. I'm stuck in a bad situation. And I need your help. You're the only person I know who knows anything about this. Either help or show me someone who can.
There is no one who will help you. No one sane, at least. I want you to leave. Yeah, no, it won't be hard to like push her a little to change her mind, right? Because you did pay her, and like she's just. I think a lot of this is just her saying this.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, listen to me. You don't have much of a choice right now, but to listen to me. I need your help. Without it, things get worse. Help me. And then maybe like ugly truth, like you can't make me leave.
I mean, I don't feel like that was ugly enough to be ugly truth, and that's a threat. That's intimidation, not ugly truth. Anyway,
all right.
Ugly truth is like it's already as bad as it's gonna get. You just can't see it.
Hang on, I'm just gonna look through my business here and see if I can do anything.
You could just like,
can I?
Is flashing her an ugly truth?
What do you mean? She doesn't care though. Is the thing like I'm a zombie is not an ugly truth for her because she can just be like tough shit.
Yeah.
Like sorry, I don't care about that.
What I'm thinking is I actually grab her.
Okay.
And like use a brawling test to not hurt her, but like give her no other option but to listen to me, basically.
I mean, again, that's intimidation. Like, there's a physical aspect to it, but brawling.
I mean, brawling. But you can use brawling to restrain someone.
Yes, you can restrain her, but she's not trying to leave, right? Like the thing is, like,
I mean, I would say persuade, but I already did it. Like,
no, that was persuade. That was persuade to get in the house. Yes,
Oh, all right. Well,
the thing about intimidation is that like that's the psychological coercion. Brawling is literally like punching and kicking people. You can't, the test and the thing wouldn't match up in that case. But yeah, I mean, you could try to like
in brawling, there's an example that says something like, "I want to pin them so that I can then talk."
That's two tests, right? That's pin them so they don't run away, and then another test to tell them what to do.
Okay. Anyway, I'll instead then we'll just take the persuasion track because if I can, I can. I just thought I wouldn't be able to use the same test again. And I'll say. Actually, I'll just basically say what I said, except without the threat. Like, it's only going to get worse for me without your help. I know you have the wrong idea. Okay. I can tell you what this is, and I can tell you why I need this, but I need you to be calm first.
Okay.
Basically.
So the ob is normally 2, but there's additional disadvantage because she thinks you're up to some like sacrilegious shit.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll just call it up 3.
Cool. Yeah. Hey, we did it.
Okay. So she has some pity left in her heart. And she goes quiet. If it is not what I think, then what is it?
I'm not a necromancer, but I am a victim. And I sort of pause as if hoping that she'll just interpret what I'm saying. But then if she doesn't, I continue with like, I died some months ago. And yet here I stand. I'm worried about my own body, myself, my essential self decaying. And you were a person who worked at a temple. You're the best lead I have. Other than some others that, well, they rejected the idea of being helpful.
You misunderstand the purpose of the temples. We prepare the bodies as a vessel to allow the soul to leave, to go to the judging place, to meet with our gods. Even if I were able to do what you want, it would mean only that you would die properly and would go from this place. Is that what you want? To be released?
No, not yet. I have things to do first.
I know.
There's nothing?
I know only the ways to keep a body from deteriorating. How to remove that which is within. To prepare it for the sacred jars. I have never even done this thing myself, and I have not witnessed it since I was a girl. I'm certain that I would make a mistake. Something would go wrong. These are sacred acts. You clearly do not know what you are asking me to do.
No, but I don't have a lot of options. So I thought I'd ask nicely. Nothing on the inside works anyway. Taking it out probably wouldn't do too much.
I may be able to help. I cannot do what I did in the temple. This is something else. But perhaps I can do something.
Something?
And like your eagerness,
very interested.
Yeah, right. And that like really puts her off, where she's just like, maybe not. Never mind. I don't want to do it. But like, she says, the weather here is different. You give me time. I need to think on the materials that I will need, and then you will have to obtain them for me, and a place where we can do this, where my husband will not know.
I have a place.
She kind of looks at you like, I don't know if I want to go to your place.
And of course, if you can help me, I am at your service. If there's anything you need.
I do not need the services of the dead. I am no necromancer either.
Fair enough.
But I will take your gold.
Like, you already have my gold?
Yeah, but she's like, I'll take more of it later. But she says, yeah, so she says, I need these things. And she like starts listing some like stuff that she needs, like mostly like chemicals, alchemists like supplies, but she just tells you like, I need this at the very bare minimum.
Sure.
Get me these things and then tell me where I can meet you.
These shouldn't be too difficult for me to get, assuming I go to the right places. I'll meet you at the... Well, you said you didn't...
Yeah, she didn't actually say anything. She just made a face of disgust that, like, I don't want to go to your dark lair.
Meet me outside of the old butcher shop in X district of X place.
Yeah, yeah. And she says, I know the place. How long will it take you?
Not sure. Give it a few days. Maybe 3.
She nods. 3 days then.
Around this time. Is that good for you?
I will find a way to make an excuse to leave. It will not be easy.
I've been so rude. And I haven't even introduced myself this whole time that we've known each other. I say as if it's been so long.
Yeah, and she puts a hand up to stop you. I do not want to know your name, nor you mine. There's power in names, and I do not want to give you any more power over me than your gold already has. I am sure I will pay for my greed.
Fair enough. No names then. It's fine.
Now go.
No.
Go from this place before my husband returns.
Yes, if you'll excuse me. And I, like, sort of take my leave.
Mm-hmm.
With this, like, list of things.
Yeah, and the list is all, like, in your head, so...
Yeah, like that I've tried to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta go... My first thought is saltpeter will have these things.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I'm gonna go next.
You're just gonna walk in and be like, yo, I need this stuff?
Yo, I need this stuff, yeah. And then I'm gonna put gold in his hand. I got some gold.
Yeah, I don't know if one cash die will be able to swing it.
Whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna figure it out.
I brought you this shiny nickel. Give me all the stuff I need.
He doesn't have, a friend discount, family discount.
Yeah.
No, he abandoned you. He was like, "Get out. You're
Raised
done.
from the dead,
I've moved
discount.
on." We'll see. We'll see how all that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go.
Cool. Okay. So let's check back in on Alessandra. What you can decide how much later this is, Alessandra, but this is sort of after your ritual. Are you still at the church? Do you want to have a scene like at home?
Let me look at my beliefs.
Yeah, that's
real
a good call.
quick. I feel like I want to have spoken to Robillard, but it was basically just like this shit. Well, maybe we can do that later because I don't have a belief about it yet because it just happened.
Yeah. Don't do stuff you don't have beliefs about unless it serves future beliefs.
I think that, yeah, she's all like filled up with the like angels are real and like spring and blah, blah, blah. Like I saw them, they were like pointing at me thing. I think that she's going to do what Robillard suggested and like go to the king's bedside and like pray for something to anything.
Okay.
To like help, because obviously going to Agatha was bad and she just had this religious experience. So she's all full of belief about that bullshit. So yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like she doesn't really know how to. I mean, she's probably just imitate.
We'll go through when you get there. But what time of day are you going? What is this like? What's the situation? Is this just like the afternoon?
I'm sure that like after she recovered at the church, there was probably like a bunch of like people and stuff around, like either nuns or like actual like other nobles, or she was still doing her job even though she was kind of like lightheaded and a little like what just happened. So this is probably like at the very end of that day when she's returning home. And she's probably still wearing the dress she wore. She hasn't like changed, or like when she got home, she went like straight to find to the king's like chambers or whatever.
Okay. All right. So you go to the room where the king is convalescing. And you open the door to go inside, and you see Tabitha and Soren sitting by the king's bed. Tabitha is reading a book, and Soren is just sort of looking forlornly out the window, but they both stop to look at you when you come in. Soren looks like he's been having whiskey for breakfast every day since the last time you saw him. He's hollow-cheeked, and he's still like super attractive, but he's haunted now. He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow going on. Tabitha looks perfectly put together, and they're both wearing like this sort of matching outfit of like a dull ochre and an orange. And when you open the door, they both look up, and Soren looks at you like, "Who's that?" And Tabitha looks at you like, "How dare you exist?"
And I think that Alessandra like pauses at the door and like stares back at them, and then says, "I did not even know you two still remained at court.
Not.
Have you been?"
And Tabitha interrupts you. She says, "Not at court, Alessandra." And she looks at the king.
"Oh, so you are guests of my house then?"
"We are friends of His Majesty."
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe His Majesty no longer remembers whether he has friends or not. So why are you here?
Whether someone remembers the truth doesn't mean it isn't still true. He needs us. And while some of us are out with our relatives being anointed, whatever it is that they've called you, we are here watching after him, as you should be doing.
He is cared for. I have made certain of that. And whatever they call me is Lady Regent of Carpathia. You should have more respect.
Soren looks at you and he spits on the floor, and he says, he just looks at you and he just spits. He just like and just looks at you.
I'll have you both out of my house.
And he grins and just leans back like, "I fucking love to see you try."
And it's just a little bit of a staring contest where they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm. They basically just call your bluff. Like, Tabitha's like, "Fine, do it." And Soren's like, "I'll kill them all. I'll kill every guard you send in here."
So what? You're just going to remain here in my home indefinitely? I could just have them not feed you.
We have our own means. And we stay here as long as he does.
Why?
Soren laughs. Doesn't say anything. He scoffs.
Why don't you both just go back to wherever it is you came from?
We could say the same for you, little bird. Why don't you flutter on home?
This is my home.
You don't belong here.
I belong here more than you do.
The king has been our friend since we were children. You barely know him.
None of us know him anymore.
Soren leans forward and he says, no, you've got it backwards, Alessandra. It's the other way around. He doesn't remember us, so we have to remember for him.
What, you will sit here by the bedside of an empty shell and mourn him? You can do just as well in the cemetery, outside of my house.
I will stay at Tomas's side until he draws his last breath, or I draw mine. So if you want to remove me, try.
They're jerks and I don't like them.
Yeah, how dare they? Their beloved friend.
They are jerks.
Uh-huh, yeah. What we're forgetting here is that Alessandra is also a jerk. So what do you do? Yeah, like you want, I mean, what do you want here? Because if you're going to, this is, what's great here is that the easiest thing would just be like to agree with them and be like, yes, I also love the king. I'm here to like pray that he gets better. But you're way too fucking stubborn and proud to just be like, yes, we all love the king. You're like, no, only I may love him.
Get out of my house, you jerks who like this person.
Yeah, yeah.
Call the guards and toss them on their ass.
Oh God, Soren would, that would
not
result in a
invite
lot
violence.
of bloodshed.
That would be
And
amazing.
yeah.
No.
Soren definitely has the resources to have rolled himself up a new sword. So.
Also, Elf, your character has the dangerous trait, not you.
I'm a little dangerous too. RPG dangerous anyway.
Mm. Ah.
Well, what do you? I mean, that's great. Do you just leave? Or are you just like
No,
fine.
no, she refuses.
Okay, all right.
I think she like kind of like pushes herself to step forward. Like the first step is really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like just moves forward to the side, like to the king's bedside. And like it just ignores that Soren and Tabitha are there.
Yeah.
And she says, if you wish to be statues in my house, then fine. But you will not keep me from doing as I wish. Like she was about to say, like, you won't keep me away from my love, but she's not going to say that.
Yeah. So Tabitha sarcastically says, oh, angels forbid that anyone ever attempted to convince you to do anything.
She just like glares over at Tabitha and then like just like grits her teeth a little bit and this is frustrating and I hate it. Like, I hate it. I think she's gonna try and like be stubborn and not like she's just gonna like I don't know, like what has she seen Robillard do when he was like
all right, how do I
praying?
pray? Come in, God.
Pray?
Come in, God. Are you there, God? It's me, Alessandra.
How do you
yeah,
pray?
I don't know. Do you have a doctrine skill, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
But you only have like religious doctrine. You don't have cult doctrine.
I don't have cult
So
doctrine.
you only know how to pray to a God that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But you've used doctrine for Robillard.
He has cult doctrine and doctrine.
So can I roll cult doctrine to know what to do?
I mean, yeah, like what to do is just what prayers to say.
Yeah.
But those are like prayers to God, like Heavenly Father, please.
No,
watch over.
cult doctrine. Can I roll
Yeah. Do you have
doctrine?
cult doctrine? You can roll it untrained or untested.
I just started learning it.
Okay, so
already.
keep trying to learn it. Just roll it beginner's luck.
Yeah, and what's the ob to know how to pray?
It depends on what you're praying for.
Healing.
Okay. Well, you don't have faith, so you can just ask nicely and nothing will happen.
Yeah,
you don't have to make a
but
roll for that, but you can make the roll to see if you know what to say. Because I guess that's the thing, is what we're looking at mechanically is you're like, I want to pray to bring him back to life or make him healthy or whatever. And I'm saying you don't have the skill appropriate for that task.
well, yeah, but Elisandra doesn't know that,
Exactly.
and Robillard told her that that was like something that would work.
Right, exactly, yes. Priests
And
telling
also,
people
she
to
came
pray
into
for
this
stuff
room
they'll
to
never
do
get.
something, and now these two people are being assholes.
What's great is
And
Tabitha's going to
stubbornly do it
stare at
anyway.
you the whole time.
Yeah, it's gonna be super awkward, and that's why she's
so
gonna say it doesn't work,
uncomfortable.
because obviously it's because
that's
of them.
fine. So it's citing relevant passage from a common religious text, naming an obscure saint. Ob 3. Okay, I think it's just ob 2. Ob 2 to remember. Well, like a prayer for healing or a prayer for like benediction is just like common. It's a common thing. Like, please, angels,
Okay.
play unto my beloved a song of whatever. Yeah, let's just call it ob 1.
Ob 1.
That's to remember
Cult
it.
Doctrine.
If
test.
you okay, so here's my question, I guess. Do you care if Tabitha like watches you stumble over this, or do you want to try to maintain? What is more important to you, the prayer and hoping the angels hear you and speaking from your heart, or making Tabitha not think you're a total idiot?
I mean, I think like when she starts the thing, it's about like these stupid people are trying to make me not do what I want to do in my own damn house, and they won't leave, and I can't make them leave, so I'm gonna do what I was gonna do anyway, and it's very like stubborn. But like maybe when she like gets into it, if they're just like silently sitting there, even if they're staring at her, it might be like, with what happened today, it might be enough to like actually get it to be like a serious, like fervent prayer.
Okay, so you don't care if they think that you're an idiot. I mean,
No.
like you don't. Your dignity is less important than the prayer.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. All right, make that
So,
cult doctrine roll. It's just
Ob 1?
Yeah, but it's untrained, so it'll become 2. Nice. Okay. All right. So yeah, mark your test towards learning it. You remember enough to make the prayer. But it is amateurish. It's not like certain, right? It's a little bit like you stumble a few times, and it's really hard speaking fervently from your heart when someone else
Is glaring at your
is
back.
sneering down at you like, you idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like kneel at the side of the bed. What is this? What does it look like? What is your prayer?
I mean, like that was. I'm just like all I have is like basic like television Catholicism.
Sure. I mean, we get to just make it up, but basically, it's just like praying to the angels. Like you're mostly remembering the prayer that was said over you when you were injured.
Yeah, yeah. So she's remembering this thing that she was kind of in and out of, and like she probably is like, if they were sitting near, she probably like butted in so that she could like get to his hand, and like, was just like, I'm gonna like be here, and she's just holding it and like mumbling, and it probably starts like lower under her breath because she's embarrassed a little bit, but like when she gets into the like flow of things and starts remembering basically like what Robillard did and how she felt then, and then like how she felt today, it gets a little less like mumbly and a little more like actual, she's saying it. And yeah, she's probably like kneeling, or because they've probably got whatever chairs there are. I can't imagine there's just like 5 chairs surrounding the king's bed. Yeah, and I think that like when she looks up again, she like remembers that they're there, because she was like, and like looks up at the king like, and of course like she doesn't have faith, so
you
nothing.
Can't do shit. Yeah, your prayers fall on empty ears because deep down you don't actually believe in it yet.
No.
Though you could certainly work towards unlocking faith as a thing.
I don't even know how that would work in game.
Trait vote.
Mechanically.
Yeah, trait vote, you get faithful. So just keep acting like a nun, and eventually you might be rewarded with faith.
But yeah, it's basically just like she was feeling the vibes from coming off of that whole thing, and then it was kind of like cut off when she came in here and saw Tabitha and Soren, but she like got back into it. And then when she stops, the only like prayer that she remembers and looks up and it didn't work. There's
Well,
a little
so
bit
you're,
of, like,
I mean, you're the sound of your voice, because we talked about the king is like semi-lucid.
yeah, he just doesn't remember anything.
Well, things come and go, and his memory's all scrambled egg. So I think you speak, right? You're like saying this prayer, and then when obviously nothing happens, there's no like light from heaven, no 12 armed creatures pick him up and shake the sick out of him. You hear him like he moans. There's like a low moan, and he turns his head and he looks at you. And he looks like you can see his like lips moving. Like he wants to say something, but you can see he's struggling. Do you say anything?
Yes.
He's still just like looking at you like confused.
And she does that thing where it's like she's probably like the reason that she's not here all the time is because she already tried that at the beginning of his convalescence where she was like, he'll remember, it's fine. And now she just avoids it because it's painful to see. And so there's this look on her face of like, please just say my name. And like it's like, and then when he doesn't say anything, she's just like, Alessandra, my name. Tell me, you remember.
He shakes his head and he says, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be the king. Tell them I won't do it, Mother. It was supposed to be him. I can't. I won't. And he starts like getting upset, and Tabitha has stood up, and she's like coming over, and she's like, get away from him. Like, you've upset him.
And I think that Alessandra would probably like also stand, like turn away from the king and like get in Tabitha's way.
Mm-hmm.
And
she said, she's like, what are you doing? What have you done? And he's like moaning and like upset. And Soren runs to the other side of his bed and like puts his hands on his shoulders. And he's like, Tom, it's all right. It's all right. It's going to be all right. And you can already see like his eyes starting to well up. And Tabitha is looking at you like, you just come in here and you're causing trouble. Get the fuck out. I hate you.
I come here in my own house at the bedside of the king for whom I am regent. And you dare to shoo me away.
She is going to slap you in the face.
Great.
I think that's what she does. It's not hard enough to like make a roll or whatever unless you like dodge, but
I mean, Alessandra
activates secret ninja Alessandra mode.
Yeah, I mean, I think she just wails you in the face. She just like slaps you once really hard. It's a shut up slap, right? So, yeah, she just slaps you. Your cheek stings. You're used to getting hit, but mostly by dudes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot.
And so when you turn back to like look at her, your face is like red and hot and stings.
And she's just got like, I'm gonna kill you eyes.
Yeah, you're both just like, fuck you.
I think that I leave.
Good.
But I leave to go like find somebody to help me get these people
you storm
out
out
of my house.
Okay. Well, she gets an attack of opportunity on you as you go. She slaps you in the back.
No.
No. Okay. So yeah, you storm out.
Yeah.
Tabitha activates secret ninja Tabitha mode.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I circles up like person to help me get these people
Yes.
out of my house?
Yeah, you can. But before you leave, so as you walk towards the door, you see, this is great. You see the lady protector, and she's standing by the door, and she's grinning. She's just smiling at you like, fucking get what you deserve. You're the biggest bitch in the universe, and I'm so happy you just got slapped in the face. And like, I could have stopped her. I could have stepped in, but I don't want to because I hate you. And she just gives you this look like
I hate everyone.
she just
All of them
smiles.
are
She smiles like somebody just gave her a bouquet of flowers. And you storm out into the hallway.
Yeah.
So your immediate reaction is like, go get some help, like go narc on her,
Well,
or do you just like start
yeah.
crying, or like what do you?
No.
So you get out of the
Alessandra's
situation.
not gonna start crying. It's very much like she cannot do a violence. Like one, she's not really capable, and two, like she doesn't want to.
That's true.
But like these people are not listening to her, and they're also like in her own house, and one of them just slapped her, and she has every reason and every right to demand that they leave. So yeah.
I mean, they're also rich and influential. It's not
Yeah,
as clear
well,
cut as
this
you
is
think
my
it is.
goddamn house, so they can rich and influential from the outside of it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We'll see about-
Alessandra getting all.
We'll see about all
Alessandra
that.
with the heat.
All right, so Alessandra, you storm out with the intention of setting straight this situation. What do you do? Where do you go? What happens?
Well, like I
You
said, I
circles
want
up
to
some-
like
who
find.
okay, who do you want to make a circles test to find?
Uh,
My chair is all fucked up. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that it's like the person that she wants to find
Mm-hmm.
is. I feel like she recognizes in Soren that if she brought a bunch of guards in here, he would just kill them and not care
Yes,
because she knows that he
would.
killed that like Stygian. So she has to find.
You don't have any
someone-
guards anyway. The whole Green Mantle Company is gone. They're all out in the
they're
forest.
all away.
Yeah.
I think that she needs to find someone who is a noble so that Soren can't just kill him without consequences.
I mean, can't is a strong word, but okay.
Well, I mean, she doesn't think that someone's just going to straight up murder someone in her house over not leaving her house.
Love and
She has
being
to-
drunk are a powerful combination.
Okay, well, she's looking for someone that in her mind like isn't just like a Stygian in a bar that Soren can kill, right?
Okay. Who can you help me understand better who this person is? Like,
It's probably Reza.
and what do you want them to do? Yeah, like Reza is a man who does man stuff, who's also a noble, and if you try to convince him to throw, this is how you get Reza killed. Is really what happens. The two of them end up in a duel, and one of the two of them dies.
Win-win.
I mean, like the thing is like if we're talking about a noble who is like strong-ish and a dude, like it's Reza. Reza's always here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
probably, yeah, she would be like, oh, Reza, I can use him.
Okay.
Tool that I have.
All right. So you want to go find Reza?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like her like second thing is gonna be like, and I'm gonna get that woman Tabitha like sued or something for slapping me. But first it's get them out of my house.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. I don't even have to circle with Reza. He's a relationship of mine.
Okay. So you find him. He's just in his room.
Reza.
And so you go into his room, and his room is like it's like a big bed, and he's got a chest of drawers and some other like furniture, and there's a window, and there's a table with two chairs, and he's sitting in one, and on the table there is a game board of some kind with some like pieces carved out of wood on them. And then in the other chair, there's an enormous stack of books,
And then Necula.
and Necula is sitting on it. And Necula is just like leaned on a pudgy arm looking at the game board.
Is he winning? Please tell me he's winning.
I mean, game's a chance
I
if
don't
you
know
have
the
it, you can
game,
tell.
so-
So you walk in and you see them, and they both look up. And Reza doesn't say anything right away. It's Necula that's like, "Hello, mother."
Shouldn't you be asleep?
He shrugs.
It's neither here nor there. Reza, I have need of you. Please.
I'm in the middle of something.
This is more important than a game.
Is it?
Yes.
What do you want?
The Volpes are refusing to leave the house, even though I demanded that they do so. And the woman, Tabitha, hit me. I need them out. And I
He squints at you and he says, "The Lord and Lady Volpe are our guests."
Not if they do not do as I say. Not if they hit me.
Everyone gives in to temptation now and then. I can hardly fault them for it.
And she like goes to probably just like leave because she like, yeah, he's just like, yeah, I hit you once too. And she's like, oh yeah, you're a jerk. And she probably like, yeah, huffs and spins around and like goes to go out the door. Because yeah, Reza's a butt.
I mean, you could stay. He's goading you into doing exactly what you're doing, right? He's like, fuck off. I'm doing things men are doing. But you can still roll. You can roll to convince him or like tell him like, no, this is how it goes. He's still an NPC.
Okay, so yeah, I guess like I'll turn around as if to leave, and then she turns back and she says, "No, you are also a guest of this house, and if I ask for you to do this, you will, Reza."
He squints at you. Or what?
Or I'll throw you out too.
And Necula is just like watching you, his little feet kicking, and he just kind of like cocks his head like, yeah, I mean, you can make a roll. Sounds like you're intimidating him.
Yeah, definitely intimidating. Is intimidation against will too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so intimidation, manipulation wise, noble wise, can I do ugly truth?
What is the ugly truth here?
This is my house and you're just a guest.
I don't know if he recognizes that. Like, I think he doesn't think of this as your house.
I mean, but isn't that why it's ugly truth?
You could make a linked test with ugly truth first, and then if you succeed, you'll get an extra die. I don't think it's a straight up helping die.
Well, then can I fork in falsehood? Because there's probably no way I can actually throw him out of the house.
I mean, you could if you tried hard enough, if you devoted the energy to it.
What's his will?
His will is 4.
Sorry, I've got noble wise. I have manipulation wise. Can I fork in persuasion? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
And then I guess I'll just use a persona point.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, failure is he just laughs at you, right?
Yeah,
like failure is like, fuck you. You want to throw him out? Throw him out yourself.
Face up 4. Mother of God.
Close.
I'm gonna re-roll.
You got 2 6s, I think.
I have 1.
You got 1. Yep.
You spend 1 or 3.
Fuck it. I'll spend 3. I want him to toss these people out. So that'd be 2d6.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
Get the fuck out of my house. So how many fate would that be spending on?
By my record, you're down to 1 and 1.
No, I mean like on intimidation. Would I count spending?
Yep,
all
count
3?
all 3. Yep.
Okay. All right, Reza, get them out of my house.
So he gets up and he looks at Nikolai and he says, "We'll have to continue later." And Nikolai says, "It's all right. I was going to win anyway." And Reza looks at you and he says, "What am I to do?"
They are at the king's bedside. I would rather it be bloodless, since I know that you tend to deal with problems in your way. But I want them out of my house.
But you've already asked nicely. and threatened them, and they haven't left, then what avenues are left to us?
Just get them out of my house. Please.
This isn't like a spider you find in your parlor. I'm not going to be able to just scoop them up and toss them through the door.
Can't you, though? And there's a little bit of like, come on, I've seen your arms. Like, you could totally just carry, like...
You're confusing him because you're like, don't do violence, but like, throw them out. So he looks at you and he says, what do you want from me?
You're right. You have tools. Use them. I don't care. I just want them gone.
Okay. So he walks over to a cabinet and he opens it. And he takes out a sword. And he puts it on.
And Alessandra probably does like a little like grimace, like.
And as he's buckling it, he looks at you. He sees that. He looks at you and he says, what? This is your doing.
Yes. Sorry.
And he turns and he storms off down the hallway. Do you follow him? You go watch this happen, or you just want me to tell you what happens?
I don't think that she has the stomach to watch whatever happens. No. I think that she maybe like she like follows as this like, yes, this is going to get done, and then like when they get closer to where it is, she like slows down and then stands at the end of the hallway and is like, I'm just gonna be over here.
Yeah, and when you turn, you see that Necula has followed you. He's followed you down the hallway, and he looks at you as Reza goes around the corner, and he says, you may have just sent him to his death, you know. Soren is a very well-established fighter. I don't think Reza's any match.
Soren is a drunk.
Drunk or no. Are you willing to accept the responsibility for that?
If Reza dies, it is not my responsibility.
Say what you will.
What? What has he been teaching you?
And he just smiles and he says, bloody hands make for a heavy heart, mother. And he like holds your hand.
This kid is weird.
Yeah.
And I think she's just like looks down at. You should be in bed. We should, and like probably just is like, this is a good distraction for me not to be here and listening to this happening. Like, let's take Necula to bed.
Yeah, good. And so you pick him up, and yeah, he just puts his little pudgy arms around your neck and like nestles his head into your into your shoulder, and lets you carry him back to bed.
Mm.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a break here. I will ponder over what happens to Reza, and then probably I'll make a roll off screen, and we'll come back to it. Stick around. We got more Burning Wheel right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I mean, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.